It's Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, the secret behind success in the music industry, Charles steps back into the ring, and a 97th birthday celebration. So let's start the morning off right. Don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Good morning and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And yes, I'm Charles Fisher. Good morning, LaDawn.
So Fisher, I see you're back in the ring, in the wrestling ring. I have a question for you though. Is wrestling actually sexy for women? Do you think? No?
Well, I see you be doing like this, just winking when you see me in that ring, and I was flexing. So you tell me.
I don't know. I think we'll have to wait and see for your report, I guess.
And I'm going to introduce you to a female wrestler this morning as well, and she's encouraging a lot of females to come into that sport as well. I thought it was fake, but when you're hitting those canvas, boy, you feel those sores and stuff days later.
Wow. So I guess you could teach us. You could teach me and Gator and possibly Agatha how to wrestle, eh? You could do that, or?
First of all, you got to get mentally prepared. Then you got to get in shape. You and I in shape.
Yeah, we're little in shape.
Yeah, we in shape. We do up and down.
Yeah.
You know, Agatha, she sits down behind the control board. Then Gady sits down behind the camera. So we need them to get up and down and get in shape. They're not in shape like you and I. You and I still have young people body. Don't forget that.
Oh my gosh! I think Agatha's going to get you back later on this morning about that. But I know face-to-face instruction for government schools is today as well. I'm sure Charlie is excited about.
Well, she started last week. Was face-to-face. All they were excited to get back to see their friends would have just been seeing on their computer and their apparatus for quite some time. But government school starts today. The streets are going to be busy this morning with both some private and public schools getting out there. And that's where we're going to try and find our Lloyd Allen somewhere on the street. Lloyd, you had to leave here early this morning to get to your destination. How are things shaping out there on the streets?
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, good morning again, LaDawn and Fisher, and good morning to the rest of the Bahamas. And of course, you're right, Fisher, we're on the streets again today. And today we're giving you a first look at traffic coming in from the intersection of Nassau Street and West Bay Street. It's a little different environment from where we were yesterday. You know, of course, yesterday we were along the Eastern Road, and there was some concern of surf action for motorists. This morning, that's not a major concern, as wind conditions have died down. And that's good news for early morning commuters, as well as those persons jogging or walking during the morning. This morning, we're also talking with Sergeant Cressinia Johnson from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. And LaDawn mentioned earlier the return of many public school students back to school, still under that blended platform. And so, of course, officers are on the streets in regards to that today.
Well, a pleasant good morning to you and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. So just a quick update. Let's go into that overnight traffic because I want to lead into this conversation about to have this morning as it pertains to persons utilizing the street. Well, yesterday we had a total of 6 accidents investigated by the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division. Of those accidents, 5 of those accidents involved damage and 1 accident involved injury. Unfortunately, I can confirm, as you've seen previously on the news, we had a traffic fatality coming from the Exuma Islands. Reference to drivers, we here in your seat today, I'm joined by Corporal Wims as well. We want to make our presence, we want to make our appeal to the general public. That includes the motoring public and the pedestrian public. We're asking you as much as possible to exercise extreme care and caution. Once you're utilizing the street, we do it so often that we take it for granted. We go there every day, we operate our vehicles. Some persons operate their vehicles in a defective condition. We're asking persons as much as possible before you come onto the street, conduct an extensive overview of your vehicle. Make sure your vehicle is in proper working order when you come onto the street. Parents, please remind your kids to exercise proper road safety rules. When you're crossing the street, please look both ways. Ascertain your way clear. Make sure you have eye contact with the driver who's operating that vehicle. All right, so these are some things you just want to take into consideration as a result of any incident or accident that happens. Also, as it relates to our kids returning back to school in an influx of numbers, we're asking again, jitney drivers, if you are transporting the kids as much as possible. Adhere to the rules and the protocols that has been established for you. You are 50% capacity and everybody's required to wear a mask. As much as possible, we had to deal with some drivers, some bus drivers last week who had confrontations in the street. These things we want to avoid. We want to have a smooth flow of traffic. We want to get the residents of the Bahamas to their locations as safely as possible.
And of course, that's been a mouthful from Officer Johnson. And for those parents returning their kids back to school today, as you've heard it, police are going to be on the street today, adding some extra care and caution and guiding our traffic to kind of ease that flow during the early morning hours. Fisher and LaDon.
Thanks a lot, Lloyd. Let's see how the students will be going back to school today. Weather currently in the low 70s and partly sunny, winds out of the south at 12 miles per hour. In the extended forecast, pretty nice for the next 7 days. As you can see, temperatures in the 80s, daytime highs in the low 80s, overnight lows in the high 60s and low 70s, so enjoy.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines.
2 men shot overnight, one fatally in the head, while the other was transported to hospital with gunshot wounds to the chest. His condition is unknown. The men are believed to be in their 30s or 40s and were being pursued when they were shot. Police press liaison officer ASP Audley Peters was on the scene at John Close and Hospital Lane.
The first responding officers on their arrival met a male lying on the ground with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the chest. A private vehicle assisted that victim to the hospital, and his condition is not known at this time. A distance away, officers found the body of another male with gunshot wounds to the head. That victim was assisted to the hospital via a EMS unit, and it is our understanding at this moment that that victim has succumbed to his injuries. Fortunately, as a result of the investigation of the officers, we have a male in custody who is assisting police with this investigation.
National security and law enforcement operations now have a permanent place to call a home, a 70,000 square feet structure that bears the name of former Governor General Sir Orville Turnquest. The ceremony took place Monday morning on John F. Kennedy Drive. Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis implored those law enforcement professionals working in this building to follow the inspiration of Sir Orville, who remained steadfast in his commitment to our nation. He also used the opportunity to tout the government's aggressive push in fighting crime.
We have begun the process of expunging records for first-time nonviolent offenders. There will be other reforms that will be necessary to make our criminal justice system more effective, fairer, and more just. Even as we are tough on violent offenders, our criminal justice must also be committed to restoration and to rehabilitation. Tough on crime and its causes does not mean that the foundation of our justice system should be based on a punitive mindset. Our comprehensive approach to crime must continue to include improving policing and the ongoing reforms of our courts and corrections systems.
While the relationship between police and the public can sometimes be contentious, community policing can help bridge that divide. That personal interaction with the public enables officers to develop closer ties and formulate trust within the community.
Since the Commission of Police has implemented the new different patrolling units, members of the public now are saying yes, that they're seeing the police, and that when they call for the police, the timing is shorter. So yes, we've gotten a number of good response regarding the police presence within the communities.
The latest release from the Ministry of Health showing 9 new infections of the COVID-19 virus, 5 from New Providence, 3 from Grand Bahama, and 1 over in Abaco. That brings the total number of cases to 8,471. Hospitalizations are at 15, with one of those patients in the intensive care unit. There have been 7,181 recoveries, while 66,595 tests have been completed. It's been a long time coming that face-to-face instruction set to resume for thousands of public school students today. Students on the islands of New Providence, Abaco, Eleuthera, and Exuma will head back to the classroom. Education Director Marcellus Taylor outlined what can be expected.
Not completely face-to-face. They have mandated that not more than 50% of the student population is on the school at any one time, while at other levels, students will go from 9 to 3. At the pre-primary level, they will go from 9 to 2.
This also in shortly after 8 last night, police received information of a shooting incident that occurred on Finlayson Street. Officers responded, and on their arrival, they met a male and female suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds. Both victims were transported to the hospital via emergency medical services. The male later succumbed to his injuries. The female is listed in serious condition. Investigations into that matter continues. And when we come back, the secret behind success in the music industry, so keep it locked. Music has secured its place in history, described by some as provocative, unique, and culturally driven. And with many artists contributing content to this treasure chest of diversity, famed queen of Junkanoo, Sweet Emily, says it takes more than talent to survive in the business. Here's Lloyd Allen.
Emily, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to have you in my home.
I know you've been in the industry for a long time. When did you actually get started?
Actually, the same year that I completed high school, in 1996, I was able to land my first album called Sweet Emily, which was produced by Lester and Quest.
I'm a little younger, but of course, I know one of those famed songs, Emily, look what you've done to me. So, of course, with your newest release, talk to us about your inspiration behind that.
When I was presented with this song, a gentleman called Mighty Mout, he's a part of... he has a ministry called The Message in the Music, or Message in the Music. I wrote the song at the time when he said it was Be Careful With Them. So I started and I wrote the song about social ills and what women have to go through, and directing the song to men. And they like the message because of what is going on in the world, and especially with the violence with women.
I think it's
at that
timely.
time. Yes, it is timely. And it speaks directly to men, you know. And so the song is called Love Her. And so it's something that is near and dear to me. And I always believe, as a born-again believer, that God has saved us to reach other people. We're not saved to ourselves to try to make money for ourselves. Even as artists, we're not called just to make money, but sometimes we have to put the message out there. We have been given our gift to speak the messages that the world need to hear.
So obviously, Emily, there are many artists here in the Bahamas, but not all of them have gained a level of success as you have. What advice could you offer to artists to really make it in the music industry?
I think if we want to compete with the world and we want to always have work, first of all, you have to be versatile. That's what I try to do. I don't just sing, even though I'm the queen of Junkanoo, I don't just sing rake and scrape and Junkanoo, or Junkanoo and rake and scrape and Bahamian music. I try to be versatile. I do reggae, I do different genres. So I always tell people, write with substance. Write about what's happening around us. If you're going to write song, even if you're writing a love song, at least write with substance. I did a numerous amount of songs in 2019, at least 8 songs. When I wasn't on the stage, I didn't miss so much the secular part of it and being out in the world, but I really missed being on the stage because I always felt like I was never really a background singer. If I try to sing in a choir, I don't fit and you can hear me. You know, I just don't fit and they'd be like, okay, Emily, tone it down a little bit.
When was the last time you enjoyed a cozy hotel restaurant meal? It's been a while, right? Well, as Keisha Ali tells us, when you finally do return, you'll find some new safety protocols on the menu.
Luxury has been little more than a dream in the COVID environment, with limited hotel and restaurant offerings. For those restaurant patrons longing to get a taste of the high life, properties like Bahamar are serving up just that, with a side of safety.
We wanted to offer hospitality beyond our restaurant doors, so we decided to offer complimentary testing, which takes about 20 minutes upon arrival.
It's easy and efficient, all coordinated for your convenience in a drive-up system from the comfort of your vehicle.
So you drive through the SLS drive-through between 5 to 8 p.m. every day, and you do your test. Within 20 minutes, you receive your results, and you drive up to Hyatt front desk, you park, and you can come on and dine to any one of our 3 restaurants, Corner Bahamar, Kitsuya Bahamar, and Filia Bahamar.
I would not be left out of the testing experience as I headed into Gatsuya for dinner. My first COVID experience went like this.
And how was that? I'm not dead. You're not dead. That's a good thing.
A few mildly uncomfortable seconds for my safety and the safety of everyone on property, a small price to pay.
Not bad. I survived. There was a little tear, a little tear jerker, but the attendant was very gentle, I must say. In recent months, many seasoned and startup businesses have turned to the pop-up market to gain increased market traction. Stephanie Storm, manager at The Natural Heart, a startup vegan and organic eatery, says the decision to team up with local pop-up Tin Furl was an easy one.
As a family, we've been visiting Tin Furl since they were in the Dundas, and it's always been a nice environment to come with your family to support Bahamian businesses and Bahamian entrepreneurs. So my mom has always been interested in all things vegan, all things organic, trying to live a healthier lifestyle. And so she thought that this would be a nice time to introduce this sort of food to our community. And we thought the Tin Furl was a nice place to do it because of all the people that come in, all the other businesses that are here, and just support each other as Bahamians.
Tin Furl co-founder Brandon Kemp says as its new Gladstone Road base, the pop-up has secured some 15 vendors, but is pushing to add 25 more to provide patrons with a completely authentic Bahamian market experience.
So when Tin Furl first started, we really were just a community of small businesses. We'd advocate for one another. We try to look for opportunities to help our community get out there to different events and festivals. So for us to now be a community that is every day out there connecting with our clients, a household name, that has really been a testament to show that when people stick together and work together, we can accomplish great things.
As we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On February 23, 1956, the foundation stone for the Ranfurly Home for Children was laid. The building was completed in April of that same year. Also on February 23, 1961, a bill to allow women the right to vote was passed in the House of Assembly. It came into effect on June 30, 1962.
An educator stationed in North Andros is searching for his siblings. Anton Duncombe says he was curious to find his relatives after losing his father and his brother years ago. Our private investigator, LaDawn, caught up with him recently for an update on his search.
Well, about 17 years ago, my dad passed, and 5 years ago, my eldest brother would have celebrated his death anniversary. I don't know if it's a celebration, but yes. And I believe that after 5 years of losing my eldest brother, and 17 years of losing my dad and not knowing the rest of my siblings for the most part was the best time to do it, so I did so.
I know you posted about them on Facebook, hoping to locate them. Have you had any leads so far?
Well, so far I've had two persons that would have messaged me, and apparently there's a lady that's named by the name of Nadine Powell here in Andros, but a lot of persons would have thought that it was her. I realized that it wasn't her after the fact of seeing the photos, and then also I had an apparent cousin that would have messaged me as well. In regards to my dad's search. And so I got a number from her, and I'm hoping to at least try to talk to him today. Apparently he knows where my twin brothers may be.
And talk to me about your father and your relationship with him before his passing. What was that relationship like for you?
Well, for me, he was always a reliable person. You know, oftentimes fathers and sons don't have the best relationship. And I was only 13 at the time that he passed, but he was one that was always dependable, always reliable, always there for me, you know. He always told me to do whatever it is that I want to do, live life the way that I see fit. And so he was, I think, the best person that could have ever been in my life besides my mother.
What do you miss most about him, and what would you have wanted him to do differently to keep your family together?
Well, definitely I miss most about him is the affection that he had for his children. He would have had 2 children with my mom, and I think that we were the fortunate ones to have known him, which is unfortunate in some cases because my siblings, I don't think they had that relationship with him. And so now that he's gone, I want to build that relationship with them. I'm so big on family, the fact that my mom had a child at the age of 40, and he's now 9 years old, and I've had taken him on from he was 2. So I'm actually the only dad that he knows. And so that can tell you how big family is for me, because I teach family life and health. And one of the topics that I have to teach is family. And so I often share with my students the value of family, you know, and having that relationship and cherishing their parents, especially fathers.
And what's the first thing you would want to do or say to your siblings if and or when you reunite with them?
Well, when I do reunite with them, I just want to give them a big hug. You know, I just want them to feel my embrace, feel my love. The same love that my father would have given me, I want to give to them. Our father would have given to me, I want to give to them as well. And let them know that, hey, we're going to get through this together.
Fisher Anton seems to be pretty big on family. You know, he's stationed in South Andros, I think it's North Andros perhaps. And he said he just wants to find his siblings because he lost a part of him when his father and his brother was killed tragically some 5 years ago.
I hope that this story ends well. Good job, the private investigator
Thank
going
you,
on
thank
there.
you.
Hopefully for a Father's Day, this will be a great story exclusively right here on the Morning Edition.
Hopefully he finds his siblings before that happens so that we can all celebrate with them and see how they reunite with each other once that happens.
I hope so. Well, as I continue my countdown to my professional wrestling debut, Wrestling Entertainment recently celebrating a milestone. Yeah, I'm still in training, getting this body and mind in shape for the big show. But first, let me turn it over to the ones who have been doing this for quite some time. Bahamas Wrestling Entertainment CEO Kevin Hinsey getting his face on, ring persona, two-faced. Now let's get ready to rumble.
Coming out right now to the ring, the one and only Portia! Coming all the way from Carmichael Road, the one and only Mr. Fabulous, Santino Samuel!
It's not ballet, and yeah, it is. It could be demanding, it could be fun. It's like two sides of the table, but it's all the way that you look at it. To me, it's all about if you can adapt to the sport. You gotta have the passion to adapt to the sport, and I have the passion. I take it as far as I can. WWE, that is everyone's goal, and that's my goal too.
How come it's that no one wants to fight me?
Well, maybe because this is not a place for females. I don't know. You know, there's no females in the ring. Anybody see any females in the ring?
I started wrestling from since I was 12. I'm the first woman behemoth championship. It's been nice and it's awesome. It's safe. And I think that some other children, some other girls could come in, because some of them, they're like, oh no, I don't want to do it, but it's really safe. And I believe that they should come and they should come wrestle. It's fun and it's safe.
There is also a full-time nurse on staff, Yolin Moxie.
We make sure that our wrestlers are medically fit to even do the training, to do the practice, because it takes a lot of activity. And as you can see behind us, there's a lot of work that goes into it up and down. So we make sure we check medical histories. We also do make sure that the COVID testing is also up to date. We make sure that they're physically fit.
Hinsey hoping 2021 will be a slam unlike 2020.
First thing we did was we put in place the order, the protective order with one another, sanitize. When you come in, we work with one another. We always got to sanitize, cover ourselves, make sure we protect it. That's the first thing we want to do. But we came in everyday fish and we make sure it happened. And we struggled through the COVID. And here we are. That's what happens in BWD, man. We make dreams reality. We're looking for persons who are interested. Come on out. You can be a part of this. All right? As a matter of fact, the workout alone keeps you from getting the COVID. So come and get some. We have another show that's in the pipeline. Not sure when that is yet. Happy anniversary!
It is recruiting, so you can bring, back in the days when they used to come on ZNS on Saturday, the wrestler always had a sexy ring girl on the side. I'm going to hire you as my sexy ring girl, and then I'm going to take on we gave our floor director, Vince, a new name this morning, so he's coming in as Peppa Pig. Vince the Peppa Pig Gator. So that's.
So I'm gonna hold a placard and be walking around the ring.
Yeah, and just say Fisher is here. When we come back, Ma Ford celebrating her 97th birthday. Have you ever say, I want to live until well, Ma Ford, she celebrated her 97th birthday yesterday. How did she do it?
I feel fine to celebrate it. The Lord spare my life this long and still with me, keeping me. So me and Jesus, all right? And you have him in hand and you keep him here, he keeps you happy.
The birth mother of 11, perhaps the greatest sports family in the Bahamas that produced some of the country's best.
Things all right with me. It's when they go to school, they come back, they can afford to go to the baker. Everybody dinner in the baker done fixed. I can't do it good now like before, but they just have to do that. Some of the things that I want to do, they don't even want me to go to the stove.
So what's the secret to longevity? 97 years and counting?
You have to be sociable with people and you got to be around like you should, but in the right way. I don't drink strong drinks to get funny, you know. I taste beer and all like that. But it's not a custom because I don't like it that much. I like my food better.
She has been through a lot and a lot of changes. What she thinks about this new generation?
They have to do to get it running their way like they want it, you know. But the country to me is all right. Because before you and your neighbor live like your family, you'll take your heart out to give them. I mean, that's the way I feel. Because all my neighbors feel like family to me.
Right now, at her age, I am her mother now. I do everything for her. Right. I cook. I make sure she eat. I get up in the morning, fix her breakfast. I help her get in the tub and take her bath. So I tell her she's my child now. I'm her mother. So I do everything for her. And I love her to death.
Thank God for her. She was always there for us. She's always there for me. She always wanted us to be somebody in life. And I tell her she can live to be 100. So, 3 more years, she ain't gotta go nowhere to go.
I'm very proud that she lived this age and how she cared for us, and she was always a mother that's treated us good. People just come here because they know us and they come to her and they just love her and they bless her,
Mommy, she take care of us, she prays for us. And the ginger for the body, she strengthen all our body, give us all the medicine. She is so nice.
She's always been there for us, helping us doing whatever she needs to do as a mother. And, as she got down in age, we, continue being there for her and doing the things that we need to do.
Sons and daughters, give me a heart, that's all I desire. Have a good heart, be all right. But that heart go to, I go and contribute to make it come right.
I can hear Tyrone in my ear saying those are the people from the breakfast stand, but not realizing that they are all her sons.
11 kids, Renty, Eddie, you can't name all, Mario, Andy, Molly, Linda. Wow. He should be doing some of the greatest athletes, I should say, in Bahamian history, from all sports, cricket, basketball, baseball, softball, you name it. And to see her talk at 97 like that and be so joyful and appreciating life, it was good doing that story yesterday.
And she seems to have all of her faculties, and she's giving us some tips on how to
and she's telling you what she did. She can remember things from way back from long time.
So you seem to have a good time doing that story.
Very good time, very good time. I enjoyed it. Happy birthday, Ma Ford. I hope the boys and the girls treated you well yesterday.
Now, if you have any Family Island stories or videos, they can send that to us, c.fisher@znsbahamas.com or l.davis@znsbahamas.com. And the viewers can also tune into Live at 5 with your buddy,
Amajal Knowles, and then
Bahamas Tonight at 7 with Mukesh Lapinder. So
we're rolling. Stony Station. Turn the TV here and lock it off.
And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis.
And yes, I'm Charles Fisher. Happy birthday once again, Ma Ford.
Have a great
Give it to me now.
this way. It's hard for me to understand. I'm happy every day. I've been waiting.